Belief is the invisible force that shapes your destiny. It's not just an idea, not just a thought. It's the foundation of who you are and who you will become. Every breakthrough in history, every act of greatness, every impossible achievement started with someone who chose to believe when the world told them not to. Belief is what separates those who live average lives from those who live extraordinary ones. Think about it. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your actions, they all align with what you believe to be true. If you believe you are broken, you will act broken. If you believe you are unstoppable, you will rise above every limitation. The world doesn't shape you nearly as much as your beliefs do. Because the moment you decide with absolute certainty that you are capable, worthy, destined for more, that's the moment your life begins to transform. Belief creates identity, and identity drives behavior. If you believe you're the kind of person who always finds a way, you'll keep going until you do. If you believe you're the kind of person who never settles, you'll demand more from yourself and from life. Belief becomes your fuel, your compass, your map. Without belief, even the most talented person will crumble. With belief, even the most ordinary individual can move mountains. Belief is contagious. It's energy. It spreads into your relationships, your work, your future. When you carry unshakable belief, people feel it. They trust you. They follow you. They are inspired by you. But it starts inside. It starts with what you choose to believe about yourself, your potential, and your future. And here's the truth. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe you deserve. You get what you believe is possible for you. Raise your belief and you raise your standards. Raise your standards and you change your reality. So ask yourself, what do you believe about yourself right now? What do you believe about your ability to succeed, to grow, to create the life you've imagined? Because whatever you believe, you become. Belief is the spark that lights the fire inside your soul. It's the difference between those who merely survive and those who thrive, between those who accept limitations and those who shatter them. Every single thing you've ever accomplished, every moment you've felt powerful, every time you've achieved something that once felt impossible, it happened because somewhere deep inside you believed it was possible. Belief is not wishful thinking. Belief is certainty. It is a decision you make to commit to an idea with every fiber of your being until reality bends to meet that decision. Look back through history. The Wright brothers believed that human beings could fly when the entire world laughed at them. People told them they were insane, that it wasn't possible. That man was not designed to leave the ground. But they didn't listen to the voices of doubt. They chose to listen to the voice of belief. And because of that belief, today we cross oceans in hours, not months. Think about Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. People mocked him, called him a fool, said it couldn't be done. But Edison believed, and because of that belief, you and I live in a world illuminated by light. It's the same with every great leader, every innovator, every visionary who has ever existed. They didn't start with certainty from others. They didn't start with applause. They started with belief, raw, unshakable belief that they could do something bigger than themselves. And the truth is, the same power is inside of you. The same fire that pushed them forward is waiting for you to ignite it. Belief is not passive. Belief demands action. When you truly believe something, it changes the way you move, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. If you believe you are strong, you act strong. If you believe you are unstoppable, you take risks, you face challenges, you refuse to quit. And even when you fall, belief is the force that gets you back up again. Without belief, failure becomes a wall. With belief, failure becomes a stepping stone. I want you to think right now about the beliefs that are guiding your life. What do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you're capable of greatness? Or do you believe you're stuck where you are? Do you believe your future is limitless? Or do you believe life has already written your story? Because your beliefs are not neutral. They are shaping every choice you make, every action you take, every result you see. If you want to change your life, the first thing you must change is your belief. Belief is the foundation of confidence. Confidence doesn't come from never failing. Confidence comes from the belief that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. Confidence comes from the belief that you are resourceful enough, strong enough, relentless enough to find a way. And when you live with that kind of belief, doors open. Opportunities appear, people are drawn to you. Not because the world magically changes, but because you've changed the way you show up in it. Think of the moments in your own life when belief carried you. Maybe it was a test you thought you'd never pass, but you studied harder than ever because you believed you could rise to the challenge. Maybe it was a job you thought was out of reach, but you went into that interview believing you belonged and you got it. Maybe it was a moment of struggle when everything seemed against you, and the only thing that got you through was the belief that it wouldn't break you. Those moments weren't accidents. They were proof that when you choose to believe, you choose to access a higher version of yourself. Belief has the power to rewire your brain. Science has shown that what you expect, you experience. If you believe something is going to be painful, your body reacts as though it's painful even before it happens. If you believe something is going to be empowering, your body creates energy, passion, and drive before the event even takes place. Your nervous system responds to belief as if it is reality. That means belief isn't just mindset, it's physiology. It changes your state, your performance, your outcomes. But here's the danger: belief can empower you and belief can imprison you. A limiting belief is just as powerful as an empowering one. If you believe you're not good enough, if you believe success isn't for you, if you believe you'll always fail, those beliefs will create a cage around your life. You won't take risks. You won't push yourself. You'll sabotage opportunities, not because you can't succeed, but because you've convinced yourself that you won't. That's the power of belief. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the question becomes, which beliefs are you holding on to that are lifting you, and which beliefs are you holding on to that are holding you down? Because you can change them. You are not your beliefs. You created them at some point, and you can recreate them right now. Maybe someone told you once that you weren't smart enough, and you believed it. Maybe you failed once, and you believed that failure defined you. Maybe you grew up in an environment where people settled, and you believed that was the best you could do. But those beliefs are not truths. They are choices. And the moment you decide to replace them with empowering beliefs, your entire future changes. Belief is the ultimate power because it turns the invisible into the visible. It turns a vision in your mind into reality in your life. Everything you see in the world, the buildings, the technology, the art, the medicine, the music, all of it started in someone's imagination. But imagination alone wasn't enough. It was belief that made them take action. Belief that carried them through setbacks. Belief that made them hold on when others would have quit. When you align your belief with your purpose, you become unstoppable. Suddenly, you don't need motivation from outside sources. You don't need someone cheering you on. You don't need the world to tell you it's possible because you've already decided, you've already claimed it, you've already believed it so deeply that it feels inevitable, and that energy changes everything. Belief also creates resilience. Life will test you. Life will throw storms at you. Life will knock you down, sometimes harder than you think you can handle. But belief is the anchor that holds you steady. When everything is uncertain, belief gives you certainty. When everything feels dark, belief gives you light. When you're tempted to give up, belief whispers, one more step. And sometimes that one more step is all you need to find the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Think about athletes. The greatest athletes in the world don't win because they're the most talented. They win because they believe they're the most capable. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but he believed he had greatness inside him. Serena Williams faced injury after injury, setback after setback, but she believed she was destined to be the best, and she kept going. Muhammad Ali didn't just box. He believed he was the greatest long before the world recognized it. That belief shaped his training, his confidence, his energy, and eventually his reality. The same principle applies to you. Whatever you believe about yourself, you become. If you believe you are limited, you'll live limited. If you believe you are powerful, you'll live powerful. If you believe you are destined for more, you will find a way to create more. Your belief sets the ceiling of your life. The higher you raise it, the higher you rise. But belief is not a one-time choice. It's a practice. Every day, you must feed your mind with empowering beliefs. You must challenge the thoughts that tell you you're not enough. You must replace the doubts with certainty. You must train your brain the way an athlete trains their body, because belief grows stronger with repetition. The more you affirm it, the more you act on it, the more it becomes who you are. That's why affirmations, visualization, and rituals are so powerful. They're not just cheesy words. They're tools to rewire your brain to believe at the deepest level. When you visualize your future, you teach your nervous system to expect it. When you affirm your worth, you train your identity to align with it. When you repeat empowering beliefs, you condition your mind to make them your reality. And here's what's beautiful. You don't need permission to believe in yourself. You don't need the world's approval. You don't need evidence first. You get to decide. You get to say, this is who I am. This is what I will become. You don't wait until you succeed to believe. You believe and then you succeed. Belief is the seed, action is the water, persistence is the sunlight. Together, they create the life you've imagined. Without belief, the seed never gets planted. Without action, it never grows roots. Without persistence, it never reaches the light. But with all three, you can build anything. You have a choice today. You can continue living with the beliefs that keep you small, the beliefs that keep you safe, the beliefs that keep you trapped in mediocrity. Or you can decide right now to believe something new. You can decide to believe in your strength, your vision, your destiny. You can decide to believe that you are more powerful than your past, stronger than your struggles, bigger than your fears. You can decide to believe that your future is limitless, because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you desire is the story you're telling yourself. Change the story and you change your life. Change your belief and you change your future. Whatever you believe, you become. And when you believe without limits, you live without limits. Belief is energy. It's not something you just hold in your head. It's something that radiates through your entire being. When you truly believe, you walk differently, you speak differently, you breathe differently. People feel it when you enter the room. They don't even have to hear you talk. They can sense the certainty in your energy. And certainty is magnetic. Certainty attracts opportunities, it attracts people, it attracts resources. When you believe in yourself so deeply that doubt has no place to land, the universe starts to align with that belief. But here's the raw truth. Belief takes courage. Because when you decide to believe in something greater than your current circumstances, you will face resistance. You will face criticism. You will face your own fear screaming that you're not ready. Belief is not about ignoring fear. Belief is about acting in spite of fear. It's about choosing to stand taller, choosing to keep moving, choosing to trust yourself even when everything around you looks uncertain. That's the test. Anyone can believe when everything is easy. True belief shows up when the odds are stacked against you. You have to be willing to condition your mind the way you condition your body. You wouldn't expect to go to the gym once and suddenly be strong for life. No, you lift consistently, you challenge yourself, you push through the resistance. The same is true with belief. Every single day, you've got to feed your mind with empowering thoughts, with visions of what's possible, with reminders of your strength. If you don't, the world will feed you its doubts, its fears, its limitations. And if you let that take root, it will choke out the fire of belief inside you. Belief is a choice. It's not something you stumble upon. It's not something you wait for. It's something you decide. You decide that you will believe in yourself no matter what. You decide that you will believe in your vision even when others don't see it yet. You decide that you will believe in your ability to rise again and again until the world catches up to what you already know to be true. Think about the power of belief in healing. Studies have shown that people given a placebo, a sugar pill, can sometimes heal as if they were given real medicine, not because of the pill, but because of the belief that it would work. That's the placebo effect. And it proves beyond a doubt that belief changes physiology, it changes biology, it changes what's possible in your body. If belief can heal the body, imagine what it can do for your dreams, your goals, your destiny. Belief is not arrogance. It's not pretending you know everything. It's not ignoring reality. Belief is about owning your power to create a new reality. It's about saying, I may not have all the answers right now, but I believe I will find them. I may not have the resources today, but I believe I can create them. I may not be where I want to be yet, but I believe I am on the path to becoming that person. That is the kind of belief that transforms lives. The moment you shift your belief, everything else begins to shift with it. The way you think changes, the way you act changes, the way people respond to you changes. It's like flipping a switch inside yourself. Before belief, you see obstacles. After belief, you see opportunities. Before belief, you see reasons to quit. After belief, you see reasons to keep going. Before belief, you see limitations. After belief, you see possibilities. Belief is the foundation of leadership. Nobody follows someone who is uncertain, hesitant, or doubtful. People follow those who believe. They follow those who have a vision so strong, so clear, so unshakable that it inspires them to believe as well. That's how movements are built. That's how revolutions are started. That's how one person can ignite change in the lives of millions. It starts with belief, but belief must be fed with action. You can't just sit around believing and expect the world to deliver. Belief without action is fantasy. Belief with action is power. The more you act on your beliefs, the stronger they become. And the stronger they become, the more unstoppable you are. Each step you take reinforces your identity, reinforces your certainty, reinforces the truth that you are becoming who you believe you are. Belief is not about the past. Too many people let their past dictate what they believe about their future. They failed once, so they believe they'll always fail. They were rejected once, so they believe they'll always be rejected. They struggled once, so they believe life will always be a struggle. But belief is not about what has happened. Belief is about what you decide will happen moving forward. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by your belief in your future. Belief is contagious, and you need to guard it. Be careful who you surround yourself with, because people's beliefs rub off on you. If you surround yourself with people who believe life is unfair, who believe success is only for the lucky, who believe dreams are foolish, that energy will seep into your own belief system. But if you surround yourself with people who believe in growth, who believe in possibility, who believe in creating something extraordinary, your own belief will grow stronger. Choose your environment with the same intentionality you choose your beliefs. Belief is power because it's the one thing nobody can take away from you. Circumstances can change. Money can come and go. People can doubt you. But belief that belongs to you, it lives inside of you. It's your decision, your choice, your weapon. And when you use it, there is no limit to what you can create. You don't need to wait for proof to believe. That's what most people do. They say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the truth is, you'll see it when you believe it. Belief comes first. Proof comes later. Every great achievement, every innovation, every breakthrough was once something that didn't exist. It had no proof. It had no evidence. But someone believed it into being. Someone said, even though I don't see it yet, I know it's real, I know it's possible, I know it's mine. And because they believed, they acted. And because they acted, the evidence appeared. So ask yourself right now, what beliefs are you ready to let go of? What beliefs are keeping you small, keeping you afraid, keeping you stuck? And what new beliefs are you ready to embrace? What belief would set you free? What belief would make you unstoppable? What belief would change everything? Because the second you decide, your world changes. You are the author of your beliefs, and your beliefs are the authors of your life. Choose wisely, choose powerfully. Choose beliefs that make you rise, not shrink. Choose beliefs that make you fight, not surrender. Choose beliefs that make you alive, not numb. Because at the end of the day, whatever you believe, you become. Belief is vision before the eyes can see it. It's hearing the music before the orchestra begins to play. It's feeling the victory before the battle has even started. That's what separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for average. They live in belief long before the world delivers the evidence. They trust in the unseen. They commit to the unknown. They invest in the future while others cling to the present. Belief builds momentum. The moment you decide that something is possible, you give yourself permission to act differently. You show up with more intensity, more focus, more energy, and that energy compounds. One small step taken in belief leads to another and another until suddenly you've created a wave of progress. That's why the first step is always the hardest, not because you're incapable, but because you haven't yet convinced yourself to believe fully. Once you do, the path begins to unfold. Belief is the foundation of courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the belief that what you want is greater than what you fear. Every warrior who's stepped onto the battlefield, every entrepreneur who's taken a risk, every dreamer who's dared to go against the grain, they all felt fear. But belief made them bigger than their fear. Belief told them, yes, the risk is real. Yes, the danger is real. But so is the possibility. So is the dream. So is the outcome. And when belief outweighs fear, you move. Belief creates identity. You cannot act consistently in a way that is inconsistent with your beliefs. If you believe you're a leader, you'll lead. If you believe you're resilient, you'll rise. If you believe you're creative, you'll find solutions where others see none. But if you believe you're weak, you'll shrink. If you believe you're unlucky, you'll sabotage yourself. If you believe you're a failure, you'll stop trying. Your identity is shaped by your beliefs, and your actions are shaped by your identity. That means the fastest way to change your life is to change what you believe about who you are. Belief can transform pain into purpose. People who endure suffering without belief collapse under its weight, but those who hold belief find meaning in the pain. They say, this is not happening to me. This is happening for me. This is shaping me, teaching me, molding me into who I must become. That belief doesn't erase the pain, but it gives the pain a purpose. And when pain has purpose, it becomes power. Belief is the fuel of resilience. The world is filled with people who had talent but gave up. People who had opportunity but quit. People who had potential but surrendered too soon. The ones who rise to the top are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who believe so deeply that no fall can stop them. They fall 7 times, they rise 8. They face rejection after rejection. They keep knocking on the door. They face defeat after defeat. They keep stepping into the arena. What keeps them going? Belief. The unshakable conviction that their destiny is bigger than their setbacks. Belief is freedom. When you believe you are free to create, free to dream, free to grow, free to choose, you stop living as a prisoner of circumstances. You stop waiting for permission. You stop asking the world to validate you. You take ownership. You take responsibility. You declare, I am the author of my life, and my beliefs are my pen. That's when you stop reacting and start creating. Belief magnifies effort. 2 people can work equally hard, but the one with belief will achieve more. Why? Because belief adds persistence. Belief adds creativity. Belief adds resourcefulness. Belief says, if this doesn't work, I'll try another way. Belief says, if the door is closed, I'll find a window. Belief says, if I get knocked down, I'll get back up. Without belief, effort is easily abandoned. With belief, effort becomes relentless. Belief is contagious, and the world is starving for it. People are drawn to those who carry belief because it awakens something in them. When you stand in front of others with certainty, when you speak with conviction, when you act with confidence, you give them permission to believe in themselves too. That's why leaders with belief change cultures, teams, even nations. They don't just carry belief for themselves, they ignite belief in others. Belief is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, unshakable. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. It whispers, keep going. It whispers, you're stronger than this. It whispers, don't give up. And those whispers, repeated again and again, become the voice that carries you through storms. Belief shapes your habits. If you believe you're disciplined, you'll act disciplined. If you believe you're healthy, you'll choose foods and habits that reflect health. If you believe you're successful, you'll carry yourself as someone who succeeds. Your habits are not just random choices, they're reflections of your beliefs. Change the belief, and the habits follow. Belief shapes your destiny, but destiny is not fate. Fate is what happens when you let life control you. Destiny is what happens when you control life. Belief is the bridge between where you are and where you could be. Without it, you drift. With it, you direct. Without it, you settle. With it, you soar. Belief is tested in silence. It's easy to believe when others cheer you on, but true belief is proven when nobody is watching, when nobody is clapping. When nobody sees the work you're putting in, that's when you discover if your belief is real. If it's just talk, it will die in the silence. But if it's true belief, it will grow stronger in the silence. It will become unbreakable. Belief can be borrowed. Sometimes in the beginning, you don't fully believe in yourself, but you can borrow the belief of others. You can surround yourself with people who believe in you, who see your greatness, even when you don't. Their belief can carry you until you build your own. And once you've built it, once you've claimed it, you can give it back by believing in others. That cycle of belief is how generations are changed. Belief is infinite. The more you use it, the more you have. The more you choose to believe, the stronger it grows. The stronger it grows, the more results you create. The more results you create, the more evidence you see. And the more evidence you see, the deeper your belief becomes. It's a cycle of empowerment, a spiral that keeps lifting you higher. Belief turns the ordinary into extraordinary. A person with average skill but unshakable belief will outperform the genius who doubts themselves. A person with average resources but unshakable belief will build an empire where others saw scarcity. A person with average beginnings but unshakable belief will create a future that rewrites history. Belief is the multiplier. It's the force that turns potential into reality. Belief demands responsibility because when you truly believe, excuses disappear. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop blaming your past. You stop blaming other people. Belief says, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Belief says, I will create, I will fight, I will rise. I will not wait for life to hand me anything. And that responsibility is empowering. Because once you take full ownership, you take full control. Belief is faith in motion. It's faith with legs. It's faith that acts. It's not passive. It's not idle. It doesn't sit around waiting. Belief moves. Belief speaks. Belief builds. Belief breaks through. Belief is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't depend on luck. It doesn't require approval. It's yours the moment you claim it. And once you do, nothing can stop you because belief is the foundation of everything you will ever become. So let this sink in. Your life is not written in stone. It's written in belief. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every dream realized begins with the courage to believe before the evidence, to believe beyond the doubts, to believe so deeply that your actions cannot help but align with your vision. The world will try to hand you limitations, but you don't have to accept them. You get to choose. Choose to believe in your strength. Choose to believe in your greatness. Choose to believe in your future, because whatever you believe, you become. And if you dare to believe without limits, you will live without limits.